should give your mattress a waste. You can feel me like the tap in the bass. Bars hurt like a slap in the face. What? I'ma do some damage today. Shopping bags, I got 10 packs in the safe. Spirit, idiot. Y'all living in the lives together. You and a husband. I was never into you, but I made you bend over. Like Western, but you're a virgin. Don't try to act like you're perfect now. Get a 9 to 5, it's not working. Big mouth, what's the process? I see me, and I see you too. You're annoying, like when I went on my iPhone and I see you too. They won't holler, they won't bark, tell them woof woof. If they wanna, send them shots, tell them boom boom.
Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite it's your favorite girl Dinah Akoma in the building, and today, like I promised y'all, I will be sipping the tea on medical laboratory science as a foreign graduate, Nigeria. Are you ready, girl? Are you ready, man? Are you ready? Pull up. Let's talk about it, yeah? As usual, my neighbors will not let me shine, but you know what? How much shine when I'm gonna shine, you get me, yeah? I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna spill the tea, I'm gonna talk to you guys, I'm gonna do all the breaking downs, I'm gonna answer all the questions, all the emails in this video. So let's get into it. Like I said in the other video, if you didn't know, I am a graduate of biomedical science, BSc, from the University of Brighton, United Kingdom, and it is very mandatory that once you get your degree, whether medical laboratory science or biomedical science, as long as you didn't study in Nigeria and as long as you want to practice in Nigeria as a medical laboratory scientist, you must have the license to practice and thereby getting the training before getting the license. Are you getting me? If you're not getting, put your questions down. Just raise your hand and say, excuse me ma, I didn't get the point. So I don't want to make this video jokey, but I want to make it as comfortable as possible, as, you know, what's the word, very understandable as possible. That's why I'm talking like this in a layman's language, yeah? So yes, first of all, I'm going to start from when I came back to Nigeria up until date. So when I came back to Nigeria, precisely I came back on the 9th of October 2017, and once I came back, like every normal person, I tried getting my registration for NYSC done, but you know, they asked me for this license and I was like, bruh, what that, what are you talking about, what is that? I was like, nobody told me that. Like, even when I was still in the UK, I tried as much as possible trying to get jobs. It was hard as well, because if you know so well, if you studied biomedical science in the UK, or if you're currently studying, they will be pushing you to do that HCPC portfolio thing, which you should be able to do if you get your placement within your study period. You get like that HCPC portfolio that gives you that accreditation match with your degree to be a competent BMS student, biomedical science student. Is exactly the same thing here with the training. So I came back, and once I heard about the training, I started panicking, obviously, because I didn't know anyone. No one told me about that. I didn't even know anyone who has done the training. Nothing online. That's the worst part. I'm yet to rant about the whole thing. Nothing online. You know, when you Google foreign graduate for blah blah blah, they don't even give you that much information. That is even what makes you panic. The emails are not going through. All the branches they stated there, Owerri, Port Harcourt, whatever, you call the lines, they're all switched off or not available. Or it was kind of frustrating for me, because I expected that such a huge thing should actually have as much information as possible, because obviously people who have gone out of this country coming back to work can be really daunting. So I really expected that there should have been a lot of information online. That is why I'm giving this out, because I don't know who will give you this breakdown, if not from mouth to ears, from ears to mouth, from emails that you wait for 1 month before they get back to you. So next thing I did was to try and get some you know, numbers. I don't even know how I called and you know how you're frustrated, you have to you do the worst. I don't know who I called, and then the lady was like, oh no, she's not responsible for what she now gave me one guy's number. Luckily for me, the guy was working in Abuja, so he talked me through part of it, like the registration, told me to go pay. Do you know at the time I came back, like my trust, because everything you see online and all these things will make your trust just suppress, you get, like, but because I really wanted that thing, I was like, I hope this is not a scam. But obviously with all the things, all the information he gave me, the remitter stuff, I knew, okay, if this guy really wanted to scam me, he would tell me to pay directly into his account. So I paid the registration fee of 18,000 naira. That included some extra documents that you need to, your credentials that you need to print out and forward to the Medical Council of Nigeria. So I had to post that. I went to the post office in Aba, Abia State, posted it to the Medical Council and paid through remitter to them. Then after like 3 weeks, they emailed me saying that they got the stuff, but they're still needing soft copies and hard copies of my, what did they call it, like university curriculum. Everything I sent them, my transcripts had every single thing, but they said they needed the breakdown, like from first year, what you did in the lab, the module outline. So I think that was what they actually meant. So I had to like email my uni back and forth. They were like, oh, you have to pay £30 to get your, I was like, no, you can't make me pay, bruv, like I'm not even in Brighton, innit? You have to send this through. Like I was so frustrated. I was telling my uni that they have to send it through, even if it's just the soft copies for now. The hard copies can wait. So finally, my uni, they sent over my soft copies and I forwarded it to the council again. They said they wanted the hard copies, but yeah, that I could proceed to coming down to Abuja for my degree evaluation. I didn't really understand what that meant. That was the reason why I traveled to Abuja. So when I went to Abuja, I took all my credentials, my passport, my WAEC, my NECO, my foundation diploma, my university results and transcripts, my IELTS, my Pearson, all the exams I wrote in this life, I took it down to Ministry of Education to get it like evaluated, and for them to also match the degree that I had done, which is biomedical science, with medical lab science curriculum in Nigeria, to see, okay, are we on the same level? Is she good to go? Is she good to get posted for this training? So that was basically what that evaluation is about, and it takes about 2 weeks. What I'm saying 2 weeks is it took me 14 days to get a response, so hopefully it takes about 2 weeks. But my colleague told me hers took a day, but they made her pay. But you know, I didn't pay a dime after the whole registration fee of 18,500 naira. So after 2 weeks, I went back to Abuja to the Ministry of Education. They gave me one letter to go submit to the Medical Council, and also during that period of time, I was also asked to pay, I think 500 naira for something. I can't remember what it was for, but yeah, it wasn't a lot. And yes, the same day I got the letter from the Ministry of Education, I took it to, that's the evaluation letter stating that, oh, your degree matches with the degree here in Nigeria. I took that to the Medical Council in Abuja. It wasn't far at all from the Ministry of Education, but you have to pay for cab, yeah? So I got there, the explained in detail the whole thing for me and told me, okay, since they've received this now, that they're still waiting for the hard copies from my uni, which till today I haven't been able to get from my uni because they're telling me to pay £30. So when I went to the Medical Council of Nigeria, I submitted that. They asked me if I had any questions. I asked, obviously. I also gave them feedback on how, you know, there wasn't any information regarding this, that they need to work on their emailing, they need to work on their online thingy, they need to work on their website, they need to open a special page for, you know, foreign graduates that are hoping to come back to Nigeria to work and get work experience in this particular field, because it's a bit tiring and a bit like lonely not knowing what to do. It can get you into depression. It can even get you to forget about the degree and go into something else. Trust me, a lot of people have done that and they can't even reason with the fact that, oh, this would take this long to get to. So I talked to them. Obviously Nigerians, they will groan and they will mourn and they will give you reasons to say that they are working harder and they are doing better. They don't even want to listen to your feedback, so carry your feedback and be going. Anyway, they said, oh, the posting will be sometime January, February. That was what they told me, and trust me, the time was, this was around November, so I was hoping, okay, January, because they said the last batch was writing the exams January, so I was hoping that January, we will get this posted. And at the time they told me that they only post at 3 universities: University of Benin, University of Ibadan, and University of Jos. So these are the 3 that they told me that they were posting this year. And usually every year you get posted to obviously accredited universities here in Nigeria, because not all medical laboratory science, not all universities offering medical laboratory science here in Nigeria are accredited. Most of them aren't, so they only get to post you as a foreign graduate to an accredited uni, and it's 3 per year, I guess, because that's what I was told. So I was like waiting patiently, and instead of me waiting, that was why I moved to Port Harcourt, got a job. And I wasn't working with my degree. If you noticed, I was doing something else. I was working as a quality control person for a company, a new company. Yeah, so that was it, to while away time. Around ending of January, they sent us an email saying that, oh, we should pay 150,000 before the 5th of February. Failure to pay before this time, you won't get posted. And for you to know, once you pay and you get your whatever that you've paid, that by the 3rd week of February, this boy ginger. So me, I quit my job, people. I quit. Like, maybe you guys didn't notice the point where I was doing like videos back to back. There was a period that man was jobless. Man was flipping jobless. So I had to quit. I was scared because I didn't want to get to that point and then start looking for how to explain to my boss that, oh, this came up and I'm leaving. So I had to quit to be on the safe side. Mind you, this was ending of January. My parents paid the 150,000 naira, and midweek of February, they did not yet give us posting letter. I say I was at home. I was in that Port Harcourt for 1 month. I did not see posting letter. It was around March, beginning of March, that they now said, oh, you have been posted to UniBen, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. You are to report on the 17th of blah 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 blah. At that point, I was already even settling into Port Harcourt, understanding the fact that I can vlog, go around, enjoy my life while these people are playing with my future. I was already like, I already gave up. I already thought, okay, they'll probably send this posting letter 3 months from now. So I wasn't even bothered anymore. My mom wasn't bothered anymore. My dad was a bit bothered because obviously. So after that, we got the posting letter. I was panicking. The whole panic mode started again. I called my sister. I called everybody that I knew. I was like, oh, they posted me to Benin. I don't know anybody there. I don't have friends there. I don't know anything about this Benin. The only thing I've heard is the horrible things people say, obviously, the witches and the whatever. Or more, fasting and prayer begin. I say to so that at that point I was like, okay, I'm not going to go exactly on, was it 17th or 19th? I remember it was a Monday. I'm not going to go on that day. I have to go like 4 days before to start securing a place, and that was how I landed in Benin. It was hard securing a place, like I told you. A video on this is coming soon, so please watch out and ask whatever questions you have to ask. And basically, yeah, that is how I came here. Anyway, once the training started, the first week wasn't serious. I reported to my supervisor. My supervisor, she talked me through the whole thing. It wasn't just me. I met every other person that was in this training as well. People from Cameroon, Niger, South Sudan, India, USA, UK. A lot of people, like, it's not just, I thought it was just UK stuff. It was like people from different, people that didn't study in Nigeria basically are undergoing this program. And we were told that we're up to 40 something this year in UniBen. There are loads of people also in University of Ibadan. There are loads of people also in University of Jos, or is it Plateau, wherever. So yeah, that is how this whole thing came, and I found myself here. So now back to your questions. Let me start answering one by one. Someone asked, what is medical laboratory science like in Nigeria? From what I heard, I can't say for sure, you have to be here, and from the students I've talked to so far in the lab, medical laboratory science in Nigeria is for 5 years, and this 5 years includes your training. This training we're basically having now, they're doing it in their 4th and 5th year. In fact, in their 5th year, they get to specialize, whether they're picking microbiology or chemical pathology or hematology or blood transfusion or, you know, histology. You get to specialize in your 5 years. So after your 5 years of whatever, you only get to do your internship and then NYSC, and that's it. But for us foreign graduates, because we only did for 3-4 years, we still have to come back to Nigeria, get acquainted to the system here in Nigeria, to the diseases. Like someone like me, we didn't go into malaria parasites like that. I think we did it for a week or so, and then we brushed it off. Unlike cancer that we did like for a whole year, like literally my 3rd year was cancer, malignancy, benign, all this stuff, we did it. But here people barely talk about that. They're more like, I can't even do MP staining, I can't do malaria parasite staining. In my head, I only thought like the only staining in this life is gram staining. When I came here, that was when I knew that malaria, whatever, you can do a staining for that. In the UK, we only got to work with nutrient agar. Here you have to work with McConkey, blood agar. I even heard of cleared agar. I've never heard of that in my life, trust me. Like a whole lot of things are different, and a whole lot of things that actually makes this training really, you know, good. I feel that people who have trained outside, no matter how knowledgeable you think you are, you still need to get acquainted to this system to be able to work with patients, to be able to handle certain samples and give adequate and precise results. Blessing Adam. Okay, how has the process been? What would you advise anyone who is thinking of getting the internship, how to go about it and how to gain work experience in Nigeria while waiting for the internship? How has Nigeria been so far to you? How has the process been? I won't lie to you, the registration process was tiring. If you don't have patience, I don't think you'd be able to wait. But what most people did, because a lot of people that are doing this training, most of them they graduated like 3-4 years ago. Some of them have like 3 degrees with the, like, I think I'm even the youngest at this point in my training, whatever. Like, I'm literally, people from the UK, most of us, we only have just that 1 degree biomedical. Like I said, no matter how knowledgeable you think you are, you still need this training to some extent. I've told you the process has been daunting, it's been tiring, it's been very lonely. I won't lie to you. Moving. It's not something anyone enjoys doing. Losing friends, not having people to talk to. It's not something that you want to wish for yourself, but at the end of the day, you're looking towards your future. You're thinking about tomorrow. You're not just thinking about now. You know what you want, and you have to stick through it. You have to get that thing that you want. And for work experience, if you're asking how I got my work experience, I told you in one of my videos I went on gg.ng. That is an app. Apart from that app, there are loads of apps that you can find, you know, good work experience, good jobs, in. Loads and loads of apps yourself out there. You don't sit down and wait for work to come to you. You have to go and look for it. You have to be thirsty for it to get it, if you get what I'm saying. And how has Nigeria been so far to you? Is there any reason why you are not looking towards Lagos, Abuja, and only focusing in the southeast regions regarding work experience? Obviously, I've never lived in Lagos or Abuja to say, oh, I would love to live there or whatever, but I think southeast is where my heart lies. I don't know how to explain it. If I ever see myself settling in future, I don't even see myself elsewhere than somewhere close to home. You get, like, it's not that I just want to spend the rest of my life living towards home or whatever. I mean, like, if work experience comes, Lagos, I can work there for a while. Abuja, I can work there for a while. North, I can work there for a while. But I know in future I'm not going to settle there. I'm going to still come back home. Anyway, during our orientation, we were told that this training is a 7 months training. So the breakdown of this training is 7 months. After 7 months, by September, we will write the exam. The exam is what gives you that provisional license to practice in Nigeria. And after that, you can then go on to apply for an internship. Internship is supposed to last for a year. And after your internship, you will then go on to do your NYSC. With your NYSC, you get posted in a government lab. So if you're going to scam, because there are loads of people doing this training now that have done the NYSC already. So because they scammed this whole process, they weren't posted to a lab. Most of them were posted to public schools, government schools, or offices, or whatever. But with this program, if you go with the way the system has made it, after your 7 months training, your internship, after your internship, your NYSC, with that NYSC, the advantage is that you get posted to a lab. So that's extra experience for you. You get paid more than, you know, the 19,800 that they usually pay you for your NYSC thing. So that's the good thing about waiting. Anyone can look at me and say, why am I wasting this, let's call it 3 years, why am I waiting this long just to get work experience? No matter how you do it, even if you go now and get 3 masters or 5 PhDs, if you keep acquiring knowledge without work, what are you learning? You're not learning anything. Me coming to the lab, even spending just 2 weeks in the lab, has taught me a lot that I don't think reading can teach me. Yes, reading will let you know that things like this exist. Clostridium exists. Like, I've always been told about Pseudomonas aeruginosa, but looking at it on a plate, not just on a nutrient agar plate, on McConkey, on blood agar, on chocolate agar, on sled, whatever agar media that you give me now to look at it, I will say, oh, this is Pseudomonas aeruginosa. So it's different from you reading about, oh, Pseudomonas, it gives off a green color, but no, you need to see it. So with people who are, you go into the lab, you see people who have 10-15 years of experience. Those experiences, they didn't come with them studying, acquiring as much degrees as possible. It came with practicing, working, gaining experience, spending years and years in the lab. So I'm not saying that I'm not definitely going to go back to school. No, in future, if there is money, I will further my education, but for now I feel like I'm in that point where I need more experience than actual studying. Obviously with this training, you do both. You study, you go to the lab. You need to keep up with these things. So 3 years is not even enough to look at something and say, oh, I think this is that. Because there's some people, there's some scientists in the lab, they just look at ICUs, like that, you know, the indole test, the citrate test, and the urate test. They just look at it under the light and they already know which is positive, which is negative. If you're always reading, it will take you longer to look at that and examine and say, oh, this is this, because you're not just dealing with one patient, you're dealing with hundreds, thousands of patients every single day. So that will require you practicing, and I feel 3 years is enough to get my hands on something before going on to further my education. So with that said, I hope I was able to, you know, give you a breakdown of every single thing that you wanted to know about this program, biomedical science here in Nigeria, which is called medical laboratory science. If there are any questions you would love to ask, if there is anything about my degree that you still don't understand, leave it in the comment section below and I will answer your questions. And if you feel that you want to send me an email regarding whatsoever, my email, I'll leave it on there, so you can email me whatever question you want to ask about being a foreign graduate, training in Nigeria, being a medical laboratory science trainee in Nigeria, or any other thing regarding my degree, biomedical science degree. So yeah, that's it, and hopefully you got a lot from this video. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and definitely I'll see you in my next video. For now,